Okay.
Good evening. It is 7 o'clock and welcome to the regular meeting of August 15th, 2023. As we gather today, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this committee and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. And we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. I have a few items in my address. Over the past couple of weeks, I've attended the county road tour, and they showed us how they spent $52 million. Wow. Amazing. Attended the swim barbecue, which was great job by Chris and his group, and Chef Keel and Pekoski and Levine. Hot dogs were awesome. Thank you. Waste Day. I'm sure there'll be more to talk about as each group gets along. Waste Day was really interesting with the weather and how people came out and supported. It was a good day. The car show on the Sunday, this past Sunday, was an outstanding day. We've sort of set new standards, on where we're going with this, and it was an awesome weekend altogether. 3 great events. The other item of business that I have started off being a little upset because I kept getting I got a couple of emails from our CAO, and there was a couple of initials at the end of her name. I was really ticked off because I didn't know what was going on. Well, I finally got the memo. I got a memo. Dear Mayor Mega, on behalf of the Association of Municipal Managers, Clerks, and Treasurers of Ontario, I am extremely pleased to announce that Tammy has successfully graduated from the association's diploma in municipal administration. Moreover, Tammy has been inducted into AMCTO's academic honor roll, which recognizes academic high achievers from AMCTO's diploma programs. We believe that this is a tremendous accomplishment and should be regarded with pride by your municipality. Founded in 1938 with a membership of more than 2,100 municipal professionals across the province, AMCTO is proud to be the largest municipal professional association in Ontario, with the mandate to provide high-quality education and professional development programs to foster municipal excellence in the province. The diploma in municipal administration is one of our career development programs that are specifically designed to provide an academic foundation specifically for Ontario's municipal professionals. Graduates of this diploma program are informed professionals with a comprehensive understanding of the complex and rapidly evolving municipal government, who can immediately implement their knowledge and thus have an integrated and positive impact on any municipal corporation. To graduate from this diploma, Tammy has successfully completed the 4 elements: municipal administration program, municipal accounting and finance program, municipal law program, and employment law and human resources certificate program for municipalities. We hope that you and your colleagues in council will join us in congratulating Tammy on this significant achievement. Congratulations. Well, as you can see, when I got a couple of emails earlier, I was ticked off because I saw the initials and nobody told me. And now I finally get this in the mail. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And that concludes my report. And we'll move on to, does any member of council have any pecuniary financial interest to declare? Ted's not here. That's good. Okay, moving on. We have 1 delegation. Chris, would you like to introduce?
Sure, absolutely. So today, council, I brought some of my summer students here. Each one of them to stand up, introduce themselves, say what their position is, and I'm not sure if council has any questions, but we can do that afterwards. And then Michaela actually has a presentation on behalf of community development that we'll do after that. So we'll start with Riley.
Hi, I'm Riley Gumford. I'm the bond caretaker for
get a little. And, yeah.
And I work at the visitor information room.
Okay.
Do you want to introduce myself?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start over here with Harold Levine, Councillor Bill Smith, Councillor Maureen McMillan, our CAO Tammy Gujarat, our Mayor Dave Mandeville, Councillor Carl Peel, Councillor Brian McCoskey, and I'm sure you've seen around Dean, our work superintendent, and Bob, our fire chief. Does any member of council have any questions for our summer students before I let them go, or anything to say?
Don't use that phrase before you let them go.
Yeah. For tonight, you're all coming back.
Well, just a comment, I think it was Emily who was like rotating the flowers before she got someone else in and you did. I saw you took like the initiative and had the incentive to go and do that, which we all thought was like really amazing, so good on you, like,
Thank you.
yeah, way to like, go the extra mile, yeah.
And you did get a compliment from Councillor Keel.
That's huge.
Yeah, I saw flowers are looking good around there too, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, well done all. Yeah, everybody's doing a good job.
I think we have a good group of people this year, so
Yeah.
that's great.
Would you go to Grover's next? All right, everybody else, you're welcome to stay if you'd like, or you can go. It is gonna be a long meeting, so now's your chance. So you're welcome to go, and then you're gonna invite, get up to do her presentation. No, Bob, you're stuck here for half an hour. Okay. Yeah, you're up. Okay, right, okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you, council, for enduring my presentation.
Okay, right on. Thanks for coming, everybody.
So as some of you might know, I started on June 27th, which is a bit late compared to when I still at the school. I graduated 2 days later. Thankfully, I stayed that day, enjoy it. So one of the things that happened because it was such a late start, there was a lot of like early planning for a lot of our events that I didn't actually get to be a part of. So I kind of, as Chris says, baptized by fire and tucked into it, but I think it was a good way to start. So a lot of the very early planning stages, I will say, was all Chris is doing, and I just kind of like I go on for the rest of the ride. So some of our upcoming and past events include, we have Canada Day. So I had over 120 emails for the duck race that I sent out. I'd like to say that I put an individual duck joke in all of those emails, but I probably used like 50. I have a very big mistake that. And then there was about 300 plus people who actually in the end came and registered there. I also spent the rest of the day sitting and handing out tattoos and flags and glow sticks, and also watching bouncy houses and making sure that anything you shouldn't. So music in the park is something obviously that was planned by Chris. Myself, I just go and I set up and take down most weeks. Sometimes Chris takes a weekend. Then I will restart the following week. Another one of our events was the KBB cleanup. That was one that I wasn't actually not a part of because it was started kind of early on, like before I got there. So that was kind of fully arranged by Chris. And I saw that it was mostly Chris and 2 other people who led that day and kind of saved us. So our other events, which I meant to put a picture of them are included at table. So I was not a huge part of this. I did fold most of those pamphlets that they gave out, set up, clean up, but that was once again mostly Chris, Grace, and councilors who came and picked out, and of course the interview there. We have our Irish gathering, which is coming up, so we sent out posters. Actually contacted some radio stations, so with Valley Heritage Radio, CHCR. I had a few tourist websites, so I think Ottawa Valley Tourism and Ottawa Valley Tourism all go back to me, and they're either posting the ad for Irish gathering online or just area. Our car show that happened this past weekend, so I called all of like, I guess the owners, I contacted some vendors and sent out posters. We actually had a record amount of car owners, vendors, and people who attended this year. Some more events, we have the Pathways of Resistance, which is coming up at the end of August. Once again, this is something that I wasn't a big part of because this was mostly Chris and a few others from the Rancho County area who organized this event and who will be putting it on at the end of the month. I will be there to help out, but it's still mostly Chris is doing. And of course, the upcoming Loggers Festival in September, which I won't actually be at because of course I'll be back a little bit again. But I contacted, in the process of contacting most of the businesses for the donations, and I will be going out to pick up some prizes and other donations that people are giving out. So we have a couple, projects, things that we're working on over this summer. One of them is our wish book. Once again, Chris's idea, but I think it's going to be really great. So it's basically the current and future projects. It has a whole bunch of information on an event that we would want to do, so it has price quotes, the workflow, grant dates, timeline, examples. So it's basically just to create a really easy way for us to present an idea when a grant comes our way and say, this is like a shovel project or shovel ready project. Thanks, Chris did that meant before now. But it's basically just making it easy so that we can say, hey, here's this event that we want to do. So up and now there's a grant that's for it. Make it really easy to just sort of go through. Also pickleball is something that we worked on. Chris made 5 courts in total, which took a very long time. I actually only helped with 2 of those, so that took a while to do 2 of them, just Chris and I. So I don't really want to know how long it took him to do 3 by himself. I can only imagine that was a while. And some other stuff that I got to do just in between was emailing, collecting prizes for other events, such as the environmental action tour. Writing invoices for prizes from like the duck race. I looked through so many grants from probably back to 2019, just to kind of get an idea of what kind of things are out there and what might be available in the future. I like to stump people with my joke week. Nobody's cracking this week, just a little if you want to look. And some other miscellaneous tasks that I think this needs to be done. And that concludes my session.
Okay, so what is the joke of the week?
You won't need it all.
No, we don't.
Well, if you really want to put this on the board and you can figure it out. Without your answer. I don't have it up here, but I can tell you.
Please do.
Okay, what do you call a thief that's a duck?
Chicken.
You would say, Jake.
This was actually one of my rubber duck jokes for.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is.
So
Yeah.
we had a.
A robber dog.
Oh,
I go through my brain.
so we had a brief conversation in the garage during waste day. Michaela came up with some really good thoughts, interesting things that she was discussing about her position and how the merits of being a 2-year program. Maybe you'd like to share some of that.
Yeah, thank you, Sue. So we went, we sat and talked for a while about how, well, for example, myself, when I started, it was June 27th, which was, I don't know, already into the summer. Chris was already, his eyeballs in work. And we didn't really have time to stop and do the pre-planning. We didn't really have time to talk about what goes in starting up an event or looking into things. It was just kind of right into like the heat of summer, and we just Like I didn't have time to learn to go to walk, and so like I just had to do it. So I thought that if it is a 2-year program, that would give you time to, if you're starting a project at the beginning of summer, like I was, you would get to, you know, have your ideas and work on them over the summer. And because it's so busy with events and other things, that even if you have an idea for the future, like a development idea, you don't have time in one summer to make it happen. If it's something that you want to do and it's something that is your idea, and you're like, I really want to see this happen and I want to be a part of it. Even if you start at the very beginning of the summer, you're likely not going to see the end of it. And then someone will also come in and finish it. I mean, that's good too. But if you've started something, it'd be nice to be able to finish it yourself. So I figured, you know, if it's a 2-year program, it might just give you more time to start a project and see it to the end, so that what you started, you get to finish and you don't have to just like watch someone else do it. Or you come in and maybe it gets forgotten or left, or you know, not finished by someone else.
And the other key element was when you would start the second year,
Yes, so.
if possible.
Yes, so I'm coming back from my first year of university next spring, which means I'll be back at the end of April. So I'll have all the way from May till September, with zero in July and September.
And tell everyone where you're going to school.
I'm going to Queen's University.
Very good.
Queen's University,
The study of jokes.
yes.
Awesome.
I'm gonna be on the website,
What do you take?
sociology.
Oh, cool.
I've seen those parties that come in.
Which one's the first weekend or after?
Or anything that happens really good.
I'll be coming home for those.
My granddaughter was there for 4 years. She never got in trouble.
Does anybody have any other questions? We're good?
Just like to say to council that Michaela has done an extraordinary job this summer. Especially given the fact that she was coming in in the heat of literally first day basically being Canada Day, which is wild. She's handled herself very well. I've been able to rely on her with every project. And she's excelled at everything that she's done in a short amount of time that she's been here. So I just want council to know that I'm really happy with the work that she's done and that she's done a great job.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Yeah, we're on.
Thank you.
Until tomorrow.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks for getting wet. Thanks for getting wet. We're gonna have this.
Motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting.
Moved by Harold Levine, second by Maureen McMillan, motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of August 1st, 2023, open and closed sessions.
All those in favor or any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Approve the minutes of the public meeting.
Motion to approve, moved by Harold Levine, second by Bill Smith, motion to approve the minutes of the public meeting held on July 4th, 2023, open session.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Bob, you're up first.
Alrighty. Operations has not been busy, which is good, I guess, in our deal that works. But August 6th, we had a gasoline spill at Jack Shoot Road and on Lake Road. It was around 1,500 and one of the gasoline straps broke on a gas tank. The gas tank hit the pavement and it started leaking out. So it wasn't far from Jack Shoot. We made the turn up that road. Dumped basically a little road there in the gravel. We got in there and we scraped what we could loosely. Then we put the quality door on it, if you can see some picture there. Swept everything clean. And then I went to my place, picked up my trailer and down a tarp, and we recovered as much as we could possibly take out of that. We made the reports to the Treasury Board Secretariat. We reported to the POC, which is the Provincial Emergency Operations Center. And we had to report to Environment Ontario because it was at least 100 liter loss. And then I dealt with Dean and said, what do we do with this stuff? I have it in my trailer, but he had a spot at the waste site where we were asked to put it, and we cleaned it up there. Environment Ontario was quite happy with all that, and so that's what we did for that day. What else do we have? We didn't have too much in operations. Back. August the 12th, we had a fire alarm on Lake Street. It was actually a Pro Hardware. There was nothing found there. They'll just get the system checked out. August 14th, yesterday, there was a brush burn at the website, at the waste site. Ongoing activity, weekly truck checks, monthly equipment checks, recent events. As I saw a couple of you there at the Children's Car Show, we were there in a support role to the organization. And again, this year we had to give a gentleman, he was EpiPen, he was stung by a bee and he had allergic reactions to bees before. There was 2 cars in the middle of the field at this time, and he sat next to the one of them. He said, I'm not going to get stung here. So that this year was an EpiPen. Last year, as you know, we had a person go down and we got the ambulance in and kept it stabilized. That's the type of thing we do there. We'll be supporting the loggers festival when that comes up next month as well. Upcoming events, run through County Fire Chiefs meeting. We have one on September 6th and the next quarter on December 6th. We've got 2 bi-monthly meetings in here, and September 12th, November 28th, and support to the loggers I mentioned on September 23rd. Fire prevention, we're continuing with the newspaper ads. Training undertaken, July 25th, we have a 4 gas analyzer, portable extinguisher, both trainings, PPE and SCBA. The gas analyzer was bought by the association. It's needed for us when we do entry to know whether there's enough breathable oxygen in there for the proper range, and to see whatever other chemicals are down there. This door we borrowed from, it's from, I'm trying to think, I get the names all confused, these townships up by Deep River. Okay, and that is a door that they had built there for forcible entry. And you can see maybe a little on the second picture there, there's a little slash of white on that door. That's a 2x2 that's going in there. And you can put a couple of them on that door. We have to break it open so that those pieces break and the door actually opens. So we had some good fun with that. Broke 2 Heligans while we're at it, but hey, life is good. Scheduled training extrication on August 22nd. That's going to be stabilization and airbags at Jimmy McClements. Our auto. September the 5th will be extrication, but it'll be a live scenario at Jimmy's. September 19th, we're gonna have the smokehouse at Ambrose Farmhouse. And we've got the dates for the calendar for training, but we haven't completed the training schedule at this particular point. CEMC, we've had a recent event, July 28th. Rob Norris, Ken Chulis and I, we did a look at 12 locations where the current AEDs are installed to see what kind of signage we need so that people in a panic mode can get there and whatnot. So of course, if you're close to a higher speed highway, you're going to need bigger signs, et cetera, et cetera. And we're checking for posts and things like that, which is very interesting. Signs cost about $35 a piece, but if we go over to public businesses, we're getting quotes that are in the range of $48 to $50 for a sign that's 35. With Dean's direction here, we got a hold of county and they're prepared to tell us what we need at their cost. When instead of $46 and $48, it's $20 and $31. So there's quite a savings that we'll be able to get there. So we'll be working at getting that up hopefully in the fall, all the signs in place. Upcoming event, it's on your meeting schedule, that's August 29th, Section Emergency Management Program Committee meeting. Make sure you bring your emergency response plan, your pandemic plan, and your food with you. Yes, all right.
It's not.
Okay, that's what I got. Leave it short.
Why do you?
Does anyone have any questions for Bob?
No.
You're clear this week.
Thank you.
Dean?
So we're just doing pretty much the same thing, the regular maintenance continues, grass cutting, coal patching, brushing as well as grading. They sent us the wrong solenoid for the tractor, as I mentioned, I think it was the last meeting, the new one came in today. So hopefully, we'll get it on, get the tractor back up and running, cut the brush along the side of the road. Hydraulic tank and our plow truck has been repaired, they needed to be welded. As
I've seen it listed.
it's completed now. Taping jobs are almost completed, they just have to put 2 asphalt green gutters on the road next to Highway 60. The road super tournament, the golf tournament that I attended was it was a good turnout, a little down from last year. I met a salesman there that basically does the same as Hub Deals. They're a surplus of equipment, so he's going to send me some info on that. He's from Ottawa, I do believe he said he was from. So we'll see if it's a better deal. If it's not, then it's for surplus equipment. So we'll go with that. I canceled the demo for the catch basins as they were pretty much, there's a few guys on holidays and I wanted everyone there to see how the catch basin demo works. So it's scheduled now for October 17th so far, but I'll let council know because I think Ted and maybe Carl said wanted to go. Carl would probably want to go see it as well. So I'll let everybody know when the date comes, closer up to it. I'm also working with a few municipalities on setting up a grader course. We have one guy that I did send on the grader course training this year. Probably have it if it's in the house here, probably use the municipal chambers for, it'll only be a couple people, 2 or 3 maybe or whatever. And then the on-site will be next Gorman Road because it's Boner Valley. So the road butts up to them so we can kind of, the instructor can show both the grader operators on the same road, basically, right? So our roads are, we had pretty good, the A-gravel put on it a couple of years ago, so pretty good that way. The only other thing for the roads is the loggers event. Now, in the past, I'm not sure, but we put the trees in or whatever, so that's gonna continue, or you want us to put the trees in where the culverts are, so is that the same thing, or?
I would assume that's a conversation we need to have with Chris, because he's kind of coordinating that end of things.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Okay.
I would talk to Chris.
But they have to wear the same product, but.
Yeah.
Have the law.
Yeah, I would imagine, yes.
again,
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
the roads department put it in every year, so I just wanted to. make
Yes,
sure.
I would imagine, yes, just talk to him to
What's the actual, the date of that actually?
23rd.
the 23rd of September.
Probably making snow.
Yeah, I think there's still enough logs up on the top of that hill where you got them last year.
You think so, yeah?
I'm pretty sure James said there was still logs up there.
Okay. Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, no, for sure, to go down to the leaves, I think so. Okay, that's it for the roads, waste management report, today, the construction demolition RFP was sent out. So it most likely will be opening, will be opening on September 5th at the council meeting here. So we'll go through it, and then we send it usually back to Greenview to make sure everything is up to code, but September 5th will be opening the CED RFP. As Bob had said, yes, the brush pile at the landfill has been burnt as well. It was getting, well, we took some off of one of the roads there, and it's all spruce and that, so that's why we had to get them in a little earlier. Normally we wouldn't have to, but we took the site there, we just put it on a dump truck and took it there. We have a chipper, but But the brush there with the screws and bolts, I think everybody knows it's all kind of hanging, it was tough to put it in a chipper, and like they cut it in so many small pieces, but anyway. And then just, as just basically I attended as well, and I don't know. Earl will be talking on that later. That's it for my report.
Awesome. I have one question. So the greater course will be here in Chambers. Tentatively,
Technically, yes.
Yeah. so, and then the actual driving part will be on Gorman Road, right?
Correct.
Is there, and you said you have one person.
Yeah.
Is there any chance of having one or two or three people that you may want to do that? Being it's in our chambers or like in our house?
Well, I think there's 3 already now.
Okay, I wasn't aware.
If I have it, and then the other guys have it, there's 3 of them, that have
Okay.
it, and there's the others that you don't operate, so. That's why I'm kind of working with them, because I think, owner development sent 2. And I think, Brunel and Lockman sent 1, so.
Because I was just
It'll keep
thinking,
the cost,
that's what I was thinking, if it's here, then let's save and
yeah,
do as many people as we can, you know?
yeah, but that's pretty much the operators have it. They
Good.
use.
Okay. Carl?
We're talking about the. Better on the.
Yep.
They did that, I didn't see it ever.
Well, they did, they finished it, but he was working in the sheriff.
I mean, I were out there, you know, seen the gutter, but they.
Oh, really? Also then,
Yeah, it's all blackened.
so that, oh no, I know the road was paved itself, but they had to come back and put asphalt gutters in for the spillways.
I washed out the bottom.
Yeah, I think that was done when I went by.
Oh, okay.
There was 4 or 5 trucks there.
Oh, so it must be done. There you go, it's completed. But yeah, they were supposed to call when they're supposed to do. it. Obviously,
Better is gone,
yeah, no, so, yeah, so overall projects are done.
Anybody have any,
Yeah, they do.
anybody else have any questions?
I just want to thank Dean for all his support, his students, his employees, for Saturdays, waste hazard management there at the waste hazard day. That was fantastic. Was really well and does stuff like that. And also all the counselors that were. 4 minutes. It's fun.
Good. Okay, and you're staying? Are you staying? He's not staying? Bye-bye.
Well, no, he has to, so, yeah, so
Oh,
for the
okay.
expenditure, so I don't know if you want to do the expenditure.
For your report? We can do that. Depends how many questions we have.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, let's do the bills. Road and general voucher, number 07-2023. Any questions?
To do the resolution first.
Oh.
Moved
Resolution,
by Brian Coffey, second by Harold Levine, motion to approve the road and general voucher number 07-2023 in the amount of $417,837.17.
any questions? Carl?
25411.
That's standing soil, that's our supplies and stuff.
No, 411. He was
Oh,
us.
411.
It seems to me would be, I don't guess. Some sort of a prize.
Yeah, it would have been one of Chris's prizes for
413.
same thing.
Same thing.
He probably got two
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 gift cards.
$100.
Gift cards.
So I was asking.
You okay? Brian?
25470.
Will it be, those rebates?
Your phone.
No,
I can check, but to me, I think it looks like it's a building permit refund.
usually those are 100s.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Thanks again, Dean.
Tammy,
Okay, so some of the things that I have, so last council meeting, I provided council with a cybersecurity policy, insurance policy for review. So I'm just asking what council's direction is really towards that. Does council want to get that policy or not for this year?
so basically the cost is $2,500 for a 12-month policy. 25, wasn't it? I think 25.50. That would be the cost of the price of the policy. Me personally, I know of 5 municipalities in Southern Ontario, other places that have jumped all over this. Everyone's feeling is that it's extremely worthwhile because if something does happen and you are hacked or whatever it is, you're going to be paying like hundreds times more than that. So, me personally, I think it's a no-brainer that we should do this, and we have to be ahead of this.
Hours, 200 bucks a month.
Yeah. Yep, it's a good idea.
And you know, it's funny, I want to bring this in because today I asked Tammy, Carl, which I'm surprised you didn't ask that question, because it was a question that I had on the bills in regards to insurance. And if you turn the page over, their MIS municipal insurance.
Yeah.
We pay $113,000 for insurance. I was flabbergasted. So in the grand scheme of things, another $2,500 to this, like. And what I found really interesting on this plan is that the deductible is 5,000, which is better than the rest of their things that they have on here for 10,000, 10, like. So. Anyways, does anyone have a? I'm sorry, I thought you were going to ask that question, so, but I wanted to bring that question in. Okay. Does anyone have any other questions? Can I put it to a vote?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
I do have a motion.
Oh,
So moved by Maureen McMillan, second by Bill Smith, whereas counsel for the corporation of the township of Killarney, Haggerty and Richards agrees to the terms and costs associated with the cyber insurance policy provided at the August 1st, 2023 regular council meeting, and directs the CAO clerk treasurer to move forward with purchasing this policy in the amount of $2,550. And whereas the council for the corporation of the township of Killarney, Haggerty and Richards understands that the costs associated with this policy may change as the terms and costs within the policy are only valid for 30 days from the date of issue.
all those in favor? Good.
Okay, the other thing that I have from last meeting was the memo from the deputy CAO clerk treasurer. So I'm just inquiring as what council's decided in relation to the memo in regard to the public officials education representative protection program.
And the reason that was brought forward, I asked Charlene to dig up what we're protected under, and she had nicely formed a document that shows she was in touch with the people, and everything that is in this document shows what we're covered in. And me personally, I couldn't think of anything else that we should be covered unless someone found something else. I felt pretty well protected. So if everyone's okay with that, we don't need a motion or anything. We're just, so basically it was an information type thing to make sure that we're totally covered insurance wise. And there's conflict of interest, legal expenses, elections, audit, statutory business protection, like there's a whole list of things, so it just.
We should be covered.
Actually, I think, is that the same company?
Oh, not that one,
No, this is a different company.
But what we through our municipal insurance, yes. But what you had looked, what you had given was a different company,
Oh,
but yeah.
okay. Okay, so basically, that was an information document that was just brought back after you guys have perused it.
The next thing that I have is from the last meeting as well. I was directed to contact Lee Perkins in regards to the pedestrian crosswalks. So I did. And Mr. Perkins, Mr. Hanrath, and Mr. Kelly are available to attend the September 5th council meeting to discuss the pedestrian crosswalks. Mr. Perkins has provided me with the county's policies and procedures relating to the pedestrian crossing on county roads, which I provided to all of council for you to take a look, and you can bring back to the September 5th meeting. And basically that's all I have for that one. So they will be delegates at the September 5th meeting. In your council package that I had mailed out to you, there was correspondence in relation to the invitation to the Lions 75th Charter Night Dinner in celebration of their 75th anniversary. So Community Development Coordinator Chris Neff wanted me to confirm the purchase of a plaque for this event, as he believes that council already approved the purchase with some other plaques that were approved for the curling club. So he just wants to confirm that we can go ahead and order that.
Yeah, we three of them.
Three.
I gave him the three, so.
Okay.
The Friendship Club was the other one, the Lions.
So order two.
Curling Club
So Friendship, Lions,
and
and
curling.
curling. Okay.
Just a question for council. Do you not think it would be more appropriate to present the plaque here as opposed to their event? Because you might do one at their event and the two others not at their event. Would not be better to bring everyone here and do it here? Or I'm just throwing this out.
I think it would be better
If we can
At-
get the flags in time, I think.
At their event? Because I don't know if the curling club, or they have an event, or the Lions Club, I don't.
if,
The Lions Club is a Friendship Club, are they not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then if we don't go to that other, the curling one, let's say, then we bring them here and do it here.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your package tonight, so I've given you, you'll see a report from Facility Asset Manager Dale Thompson in regards to the foot clinic and replacing the flooring. So when we looked into it, the courthouse, they pay a monthly rental fee. So whether they're there or not, so really the courthouse is out for the foot clinic. So in the report, you'll see he has added the vacant office that we have down here. And he's saying that it's going to cost about the same amount, roughly around $6,000 for the flooring, and also to do a paint job and to sort of beautify a little bit down there, the office space, as it's not a very nice inviting place to be. So I've sent a message to Mr. McLeod, and I told him what council had directed me to last meeting was that if they wanted to have it in the fire hall, that they've had to pay for the staff wages. And I've also invited him to come here to take a look at the vacant office to see if we did put some money into it, if it would be something that they would utilize and they could come. So Mr. McLeod is away until the 21st, but he will be checking his emails periodically, but as of now, I haven't heard back from him. So that's where we are on that.
Well, that's best. Let him make the decision. We've given him options now, so.
I wonder if there's a cost barrier, if there's organizations in their community that would help, like, for that, to make sure we have the foot, like. Yeah, if he comes back with that, maybe can we pass that along so we can try to figure it out?
I understand that they are going, like their long-term home is gonna be.
The Friendship Club, yeah,
We're just waiting for.
but just for these two bikes, if it's a barrier, a huge barrier, it's like $300 as opposed to one. You know, we need to see that not happen here, so I'm sure between all the different organizations we have to kind of
Figure something out.
pony up the money.
Yep, so as soon as I hear back from him, I get all that, but that's canceled, but just so that you're aware, though, that the cost of the flooring, of course, was not in the budget. So we have two choices if we move forward with that, and number one is to pay for it through this budget and hopefully have savings at the end of the year that will pay for it, or we take it out of reserves. So that's just something council needs to think about.
if they aren't gonna use this as a long-term thing, the money is friendship club. I don't think we should invest that kind of money, taxpayers' money, if they're gonna use it twice, and that's $6,000.
Yeah,
Correct. Okay, so also to, just so you're aware, bylaw officer Tyler Mask received a complaint about individual smoking in station parks, specifically during the farmers market hours. The smoking regulation is provincial law and is enforced by the local health unit. Typically legislated non-smoking areas are certain distances from playgrounds and community facilities. And if a park is large enough, there may be a designated area where smoking could technically be permitted. Bylaw Officer Mask indicated that he's spoken with Tatiana from the health unit, and they advised that they will have an inspector on site during the farmers market. She also recommended that the installation of no smoking signage around the playground for awareness purposes and to assist with enforcement. The health unit will supply the signs, but the township would have to install them. So bylaw Officer Mask is inquiring as to if council would like to install the signage around of no smoking around the playground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they sit there, every day and smoke, and there's an ashtray there, and they put their butts up in the ground, but
Was that around the circle part out front?
yes.
Yeah.
I got.
It's a hangout.
I can't see it in public.
And last thing that I have in open is I just wanted to advise that I've set up a committee of adjustment meeting for September the 19th at 6:30. So it will include Councillor Keel, Brown, and Levine, and Mayor Mayville. And I will provide everybody with the package closer to the date,
What date is it again?
September 19th. It's also on your new agenda in red. So.
Well done. Thank you. Do we need to accept all those, or do we just move on? All those reports, like Bob's. We don't do that. Okay, committee reports. Harold, do you want to say anything about the waste?
To begin with, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. It was, I'm gonna say, a well-oiled machine. It went so smooth. Again, 151 vehicles come in. In aerosol cans at 370. Out of 370, we pulled out 110 plus that to take to the waste site that were empty that could have went there regularly. Household batteries, there were 660. We only sent 15 of the bigger ones there. But that is something that can go into the waste site every Wednesday morning, Friday afternoon, and Saturday. Which would save us again on the cost of paying the company for it. Paint cans, 695. A minimum of 80 of them. Empty. And then probably 180 that were empty that we took to the waste site. Waste oil, it was 465. Propane tanks, the large ones, 18. The little wee small ones, again, it was 50. They're gone to the waste site. They go into the metal bin. Less than tubes, they all went to the company. Toxic, we didn't have anything pulled out. Others was 348 other different items, and out of that it was 100 we sent to the waste site, roughly 100. But that's all stuff that we're going to get out into newsletters and stuff that they can go to the waste site. They don't have to come in once a year that we're going to pay the company for. So we're going to probably make a big savings on that if we can get that rolling through. Okay. Other than that, like I said, it was amazing how good it went. It was even with the weather. 3 showers. Thanks again. Yeah. And the creek ran nice.
Oh, yeah.
The crook.
That was planned, that one.
Okay.
They need that.
Yeah.
Maureen, you want to have any comment about the car show or anything?
Oh, I just went for the morning. I took pictures. Another community event that happened this weekend was the Killarney Community Craft Fair. So it was like well attended, in spite of the rain, you know, lots of people out and about. So it was a great event. Yeah, I went for the morning and just saw the cars rolling in. I took some pictures.
Good.
So,
Good.
but it seemed to be very well attended. Everyone was happy, even though it was cloudy. You weren't sure if anyone was in it. Remember we were talking?
Well,
We said we weren't
in
sure.
the morning,
We weren't sure if people were gonna come out, and then when I got there, they were like, oh my, they were at a record. And like,
the way the weather was and the
Yeah.
misty rain.
Yeah,
It was scary to start with, but then, like I said, they started rolling down the street there set before 7 o'clock in the morning to bring their cars in, so that was a really good sign. to
yeah,
start with.
the rain can't keep people away from the pool.
Well, this is one of the first ones really since COVID, so car owners wanted to get out.
Brian?
Yeah, I just had a comment for the waste management thing. I agree with Harold. I think we could publish all that stuff that should be going to the waste side. And so basically would be a big saving, and not only for our time, but also for the company and, you know, that, you know, the whole year around, we don't have to wait for
Yeah.
a waste day.
We'll get 100 cans at once.
Make a big
Yeah.
line up to bring stuff that should be going to the regular dump site.
Exactly.
So we have to figure, is it the monthly newsletter we should be putting it in? Or
Well,
how do we get this out to the public?
I think we should also put it in the tax bill.
So what I've done is Chris and I have already discussed putting it in the newsletter. We always have the wayside hours that are in there, and especially when we're closed on Canada Day and those kinds of things. So we're gonna make it bigger, and we're going to have that. So put batteries, aerosol cans, paint, and just anything that can be taken to the wayside. And it'll always be in there. It's just gonna be a standard practice that'll be in there.
You got all that, and the waste said the odds they'd have to bring us a cube man. True.
Exactly.
So do we know how much does the hazardous waste day cost? Is it variable? Is it dependent on?
It's
We pulled that cost. Do you remember what I said it was?
oh, it was $92,687. Before I forget too, I went home, I checked the newsletter for the homeowner that came to us at the car show that it said 5 o'clock opening.
Yeah.
It's 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
it's printed right in the newsletter,
I kind of thought,
just in case you get another call.
just regarding the car show, my opening remarks. I think we've set a new standard as far, I don't know how many cars we can fit in there. We were at 151, and boy, there wasn't a lot of spots left. I know we'll fit them in, but I'm saying, boy, that was an outstanding show, like
Yeah.
friggin' outstanding.
Yeah.
And the only hiccup was the confusion with the food part, but we'll get better at that.
Well,
Yeah.
we're probably being worked on between myself and the fire department. It's already set that, and they're the ones who approached me on it. If I would be willing to help them out, and I would more than be happy to help them out with the burgers and hot dogs and you know, volunteer rec got a donation down there of $310 from the drivers. People.
Awesome.
And I would then suggest that because of my bottle program, we still have a fair amount of money coming in, that if there was a donation, it would go to the fireman's fund. They can use it for equipment. They also do stuff for kids, so
Yeah, so it was a little hiccup, and we're gonna move on, and
there was a lot of them.
yeah,
Is the event, is this car show one of our events?
yeah, it's a KHR.
Chris, or is it a volunteer?
No, it's a KHR, Chris.
I did get comments today too regarding the food.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You only
Well,
put the
apparently
volunteers.
a lot of people.
It was a miscommunication, whatever that word means, okay, take it that way, but we'll get better, and it'll be bigger and better. And if there is a bigger, we're gonna try to get to that next year, so. But it,
The cars on top of
exactly,
Before this, we were second in all of the. Griffith was the biggest one. They were a few cars, when we hit 104 and 102, they had, I think, about 110 or 12 at that time. So theirs is coming up. They've seen all the flyers out there, so I don't know what they'll get.
it's a great park.
parking.
It's a great park, and the music was really good, and everything was, the prizes. Like, if you didn't get a prize, you were unlucky, because they had so many prizes, like everybody got a friggin' prize, so. Yeah,
I'd like to thank Marlene for hazardous waste. We're sitting there in the mornings. She put it on Facebook, hazardous
Yeah.
waste, and when people come in, you said we didn't know it was on, and she put it on Facebook. No problem.
Yeah.
which brings up a good point, and that I've had people talk to me about that. the week of an event, we should send out a reminder on our Facebook page or however our social medias, because people are really watching that nowadays. And
Another thing, sorry, another thing which is bad. The two newspapers shut down the week before we had residents.
It was advertised in the
yeah,
paper.
it was,
Yeah.
but
I'm talking the week off.
yeah, But-
Yeah.
No
people's
papers.
memories.
but we still had done 2 ads in the papers prior to that week, so. We did as much as we normally do,
Yeah,
Plus, it was in the tax bill too, I mean.
so it was a good weekend, and hopefully this weekend will be equally as good, if not better, so. Okay. Correspond, any other committee have anything to say?
Yeah, I'll just mention, on August 29th, I'm gonna be attending a meeting. Organized by, the city of Pembroke. They're bringing in CMHT, Canada Mortgage Housing Park, to discuss different, programs and options they have for building. And that is.
I'm gonna come back with you.
Okay, correspondence. Town of Fort Erie. This is one I ticked off as a yes. Everybody okay with that one?
This is the one that was at last meeting brought forward
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So moved by Carl Field, second by Maureen McMillan, whereas the corporation of the township of Killeen, Hagerty and Richards supports the motion brought forward by the town of Fort Erie, requesting that the government of Ontario establish a regulatory framework requiring digital platforms such as Airbnb, Verbo, and others which affect municipal rentals to require owners using the digital platforms to comply with municipal planning and licensing regulations, prevent advertising of properties that are not registered with the relevant municipality, and provide a contact with the platform to ensure ongoing and effective communications for provincial and municipal officials. That the province of Ontario work with municipalities to address situations which long-term housing stock has been lost to corporate ownership of short-term rental property. And further, that this resolution be circulated to Premier Doug Ford, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Steve Clark, local MPPs, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and all municipalities in Ontario.
Can I have a motion to support the town of Fort Erie? Remember that? Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Preliminary Lions Club. Hopefully as many people as can support this.
If you're planning to attend, please get in touch with a lion or me to arrange for a ticket.
I'll take one, Bill.
Purchase a ticket.
Take one, Bill, I will pay you.
The mayor's breakfast in Petawawa. I enclosed a RPG's notice of September the 4th as the drawdown date. We're gonna start to lower the water. Information, chamber business after hours. Warren's annual golf tournament. Red tape reduction for designated broadband projects. Cost sharing calculations and agreements. I thought I enclosed this in the package, so it's front and back, and hopefully everybody can read this over just for your information. It just basically tells you what the county's responsibilities are as far as the cost sharing calculation and agreements for roads, etc. Is there any unfinished business? Any new business? And I have a couple of things, but
I have one.
okay, I'll go first. The first one is White Park Corridor. I've had numerous talks, conversations, emails in regards to the actual park. And reasons why the park isn't open, et cetera, and probably more so than that is the parking along the corridor. Did we not, council, have a conversation in regards to putting up new signage to designate where they can park and where they can't park?
It's all on one side.
Yeah, it's all on one side, right?
Sign there, no parking signs on the opposite side.
That's what I thought, but were we not gonna put more in or something like that?
That was a discussion of the Round Lake Property Owners Association, was it not?
And are the signs clear?
Yes.
Okay. So we've done as much as we can
Um,
without having a bylaw officer go there at peak time and ticketing people that aren't in between the signs, right?
Anytime that I've gone through, and it's quite often, I haven't seen anybody parking out of bounds, to be honest with you.
Okay,
I go through there twice a day and every vehicle's parked on the right hand side.
Yeah.
and within the signs, right? Okay.
The
Um,
only thing we can do is send a letter to the M&R and the walk about it, and the one that say they own that property. And ask them to make the parking lot inside the gate. They have tons of room there. It's not up to us. The other taxpayers to pay for that. Not our park.
what I did find out was that our people at Onshire Park, the provincial park, they maintain Foy Park. They maintain the washrooms, they cut any grass, they clean up, and I didn't even know that. Did you guys
You
know
look
that?
at the land claims and Congress would pick walking on Sunday.
Yeah. No, did
They
you?
should have some responsibility of the traffic that's being created there too.
No, yeah, did you guys know that our provincial park, they look after they maintain that park? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's part of the provincial park.
Okay. The other item that I have here for new business is zebra mussels. I'd like to bring that to the floor. I've talked to Brian about this because he has a direct contact with the Round Lake Property Association. Do you want to carry on? Start setting up a meeting, etc.
Yeah, so what you proposed was putting up new signage, 3 signs, so it has to be discussed with council, I mean, we can put up signs or not, if we are, then we meet with the Round Lake property owners and whatever, is there another group that's involved in that?
No, I think just that.
So we meet with them and see, where they want them, I think what Mayor Dave was telling me was they want one on each side of Brown Lake on the highway and one on the Simpsons Pit Road. Like big signs.
Like as of right now, we don't have a problem that we know of, but this is more preventative. One of the lakes around us, they took out 200 pounds of mussels. And if we do get infested, it could really hurt a lot of people. So I think
Are the signs awareness signs? Or what
We
are the
don't-
signs?
we haven't gone that far yet.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a sign to ask people to check their boats and to spray their boats before putting them in Round Lake, because once they get in there, it's pretty hard.
So,
It's pretty hard to get rid of. The lake is.
there's only one place where you can talk about around it, it's just.
No.
No,
At the park, provincial park, there's a.
We only have one
Oh,
on
I'm sorry.
the municipal.
Only 2
property,
buildings,
one dock and that's it.
but they went on the monastery.
Monster Park has one, their own, that Churro Boyle Park is closed off, and you can't back and put it in there. So really, that's the only place.
but and from what we understand in talking to the warden, Jason Mask, is that is a very popular place to put a boat out. And there's a lot of traffic there, so. But the early stages, I think what I'm asking is permission for Brian and I to sit with the Round Lake Property Association, conduct a meeting. We've heard tentatively that they are willing to support financially into the signs. I don't see us doing more than three. Three signs I think are adequate, coming from both directions of Pembroke, like to Pembroke and from Pembroke.
I think there should be one right at the dock,
Yeah.
a
Oh,
smaller
no,
sign.
a small one,
Yeah.
but I mean, the three of the larger ones, we have one at the dock in Round Lake. By St. Casimir's, but it's a really small sign, eh, Brian?
Small ones, and then they have one like that at the provincial park.
Oh, is there?
I think,
Okay,
it's so small that
You can't.
I have to walk right up to the.
but we'd like to revisit that and have that discussion with around the property association. So that we can go forward. I know it's probably too late for this year because September 4th, they're taking the boats out, but I think. Getting ready for next year, if we can be prepared, talk about the design of the signs and, blah, blah, blah.
Get a cost on the
Cost, yeah,
signage and stuff they want. What they're talking is fairly big signs, something like the ones you see for the deer.
Okay.
Which is catchy, and everybody sees those, and I think this, even us is much the same thing, you gotta be aware of it. If you're putting a boat in the lake, you have to be responsible somehow, and that might help people that, oh, maybe I should check my boat.
we're hoping it's gonna help.
It can't hurt. So.
Yeah. Does anybody have any,
There will be a cost, that's.
Yeah. does anybody have any, so the first step is to meet with the Round Lake Property Association. Is that okay with everyone here?
Mhm.
So Brian, we can set up that meeting then?
Okay, you want me to?
Sure. I think probably you and Stan. Okay,
Are you gonna attend that?
yeah, please.
I'll let you know.
Okay, we're good. Maureen,
Mine is, the Green Burial people would like to come in and have a meeting with, all of council. To kind of like. An update on sort of where the project, but that's also for the new council members to kind of like. Just talk about what Green Burial is. I know you guys have already had a meeting. Further ahead with things, and so it's time for us probably to have another meeting. So they've requested that, but they couldn't come as a delegation. I think it could be a meeting about the project in particular, so. So I'm looking for some dates.
So not coming as a delegation count meeting.
No, not coming, no, there should be a meeting.
Who would be coming?
This would be, so there's a gentleman, Bruce, I don't know his last name, but he would be coming from Niagara. Yeah, so he would be coming back, and then, the Green Burial Committee, so Megan Spencer, Charlotte, Bernadine, yeah,
Well,
whoever from that committee can make it. But Megan would be Megan would be the spokesperson. Just to see if we're actually able to move ahead with this project. I think this meeting would kind of determine that. So I'm wondering if you can come up with 2 dates, because Bruce has to come from Niagara, and I can send it out and she'll get back to us right away. If we can kind of do that through an email.
I'm assuming that we're looking.
Well, September, October,
so you're thinking of doing this as a special meeting or
this would be
in,
a special meeting, yes.
I think September is probably better.
So like last week of September. Possibly.
Not the Thursday. 'Cause I think, doesn't Ted start meetings that week, I think? Fire meetings? So Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Okay, so could we look at Monday or Tuesday as possibilities?
I'm good either of those days.
Yeah, Brian?
Tuesday, the 26th?
It would either be Monday or Tuesday, so if I have those 2 dates, I'm gonna send them off to, yeah, I'll send them off and we'll see which day Bruce can make it. Okay, and I'll send you guys an email as soon as I, so it'll be one or the other.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything? We're good. Motion to enter into committee of the whole.
Moved by Maureen McMillan, second by Brian Bukowski, be it resolved that council move into a closed meeting pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended for the following reasons. Personal matters about an identified individual, including municipal or local board employees, advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose.
All those in favor?
Okay, so just a moment.